This podcast is brought to you by Most Valuable Podcasts, leading the league in podcasting entertainment.
All right, everybody, and welcome to episode 11 now. 11 of the Outcast with Buzz and Juice here. To my left, I got my man, Juice.
What's up, Buzz? How we doing?
Oh, I'm great, man. I'm great. We're hanging out here, having a great day. It is currently 5:30 p.m. Central Time. I am drinking my Mountain Dew Ice because I don't want to have beer.
Well, we've got some stories to go on in a minute here, but go ahead, buddy.
Well, I was gonna say there's a reason I can't drink beer is because I don't want to be an enabler.
Right. Well,
I'll let you lead into what you got to say.
This is the first time he's seen me in about a week, maybe a little over. It's been a nice little break, but I was dealing with some issues in my chest all week, and it's not fun. If you're watching on YouTube, I got my little cotton swab here. Yeah. They took blood today, and as you can probably tell, I'm not the most energetic as I normally am. But podcast doesn't stop on account of me having some health issues. I'm gonna be okay. Got a couple tests in the making. I'm gonna find out more tomorrow. But Brad asked me if I wanted to do it. Thanks for writing up the show, and I know we kind of tit for tat, when it comes to who can write it up or whatnot, and
basically
he helped me out.
Who has the time, that week or whatever like that. I'm glad you're good.
It's scary
situation,
and I mean stress, and for all of our listeners, take care of yourself. At the end of the day, you're nothing without your health.
Yeah, don't let stress eat you alive, or
some people they run themselves dry, and I seem to do that to myself often. And this is for real. We're real people. That with real issues, and it wasn't very fun this last couple days dealing with not knowing what your health is going to be. But I'm better, so I'll be okay.
He's on the up and up.
Yeah, still able to watch sports, which is cool. I'm not maybe just lay off the juice for a little bit.
Lay off the juice, man. Oh no.
But that's why we're drinking water tonight and
Mountain Dew
over here, and we're gonna have a good time.
Aaron.
And it's also bases loaded show because they got the Bulls finally know where they're picking at, and
now this makes it so much easier for us to talk about now.
Mm-hmm.
The endless mock drafts, 80.0s and everything. Now we know where to pick.
Halfway easier, Buzz.
Yeah,
halfway easier.
Oh, easier.
Because there's a lot of question marks up here in the top of the draft.
Well,
who
would have thought that coin flip would screw us and we could have been in the top 3 and now we're
what they say
7.
in White Men Can't Jump. Sometimes you win. And you really
Remember
lose.
how stoked I was when we won?
Sometimes you lose.
Oh, man.
You really win.
Yeah, no shit.
So,
all right, well, if you are watching on YouTube, please like, comment, and subscribe on this video. If you are listening on iTunes, which we're not there yet, but we will be eventually, please drop us a 5-star rating and a comment down below on why you chose to listen to us. If you want to earn yourself some cool prizes, there's a bunch of different tiers they're called on patreon.com/mostvaluablepodcasts. Go check that out. Earn yourself some cool prizes by donating. If you would like a cool-ass t-shirt, an MVP t-shirt, you can go to mostvaluablepodcast.com, find a t-shirt in the shop section, and there's an About Us section where you can learn about everybody. Also, for all your sports literature needs, please go to sportsmockery.com for any Chicago sports need covering the Bulls, Blackhawks, White Sox, Cubbies, and the Bears. Over at Sports Mockery, I am now covering the Bulls and the White Sox for them.
You're like the 5-tool player over there.
Yeah, I'm just making shit happen. But yeah, so, just be sure to do all that. Also, shout out to our friends real quick over their new podcast dropping called Pinwheels and Ivy. If you're a huge baseball fan.
Which we are.
We will be listening to that once it drops. Just be sure to check that out. Those guys are really cool. It's Zoe, Matt, and I believe Aldo is on that also for Sports Mockery. You guys check them out. And then check out the shows on our Most Valuable Podcasts family, the Fast Break, the Onside Kick, and the Primetime Podcast. So, yeah, just be sure to check out all that cool stuff and whatnot. And leading right in here with the bases loaded, I'm getting ready. 0-1 count here. Swing away.
Swing and a miss if you're the White Sox lately.
Too early.
We'll get into that.
All right, yeah.
No, but we're going to go right into what everybody really wants to talk about. And
absolutely.
that's that the Bulls found out through some bad luck, essentially, because if they lose the coin flip, they have the third pick.
Yeah. It was.
That's second pick. Second pick.
Yeah, Sacramento gets second. It was like Phoenix, and then
In Sacramento. I thought.
yes, they were somewhere. Yeah, Phoenix,
Right.
Sacramento, Atlanta.
My mistake.
No, you're right.
Yes,
they have
I
the
am
second
right.
pick.
I am right.
Phoenix, Sacramento, Atlanta. So that sucks. But
Yeah.
I'm not going to dwell on it or whatever, because you know what? I've said it before and I'll say it again. Would having DeAndre Ayton be awesome? Yeah. But I just feel like with all the hype train and shit behind Luka Doncic and Marvin Bagley, we would take one of them, and I really don't want either of them.
I'm with you on that.
So I think everything happens for a reason,
Okay.
and we might be getting a diamond in the rough here.
So, like, us being Cubs and White Sox fans, I have always been the glass half full. You have always been the glass half empty. Because that's what White Sox... in this city,
That's
this
just
seems
life,
to
too.
be what this is. Now, this may be the one time we have a role reversal, and you are the half full, and I am the... what did we really sit through this whole season for? You know?
Right.
But we're going to get into it. Go ahead. First of all, let's just start about your first pick here. Bullet point here, not pick, because that's what the pick says. Who's the safe pick in this?
Mchale Bridges is a safe pick.
Yeah,
If
and that's also the wrong pick.
it is the wrong pick.
And
at seven.
and we've talked about this on the podcast. I love him. I think he's going to be a great player. But what did we suffer through all last year for a 3-and-D? You know, I mean, I love the kid. I think he's going to be great at what he does, but he's a spot-up shooter. That's what he is. And he was the third best option on Villanova.
Yeah, the good thing about him is that he is a plug-in-play type player, but I don't think the Bulls are going to go for that this year, because off of what Paxson said, and you listened to it with me, Paxson said they're drafting high potential.
Right, and as they should.
So who's the high potential? You know, and that's why I'm saying that Mchale Bridges is a safe pick. Am I going to be pissed off if we get him? No, I'm not. But I think there's going to be better players on the board. Obviously, mock drafts are mock drafts. We don't know what the hell's going to happen until it happens. But everything that I've been reading has a Trae Young or a Colin Sexton going in the top 6.
Yeah, I don't know if that holds any water, though. Do you?
No, because it doesn't, because it's a mock draft.
Well, that's the other thing too.
People love to just watch mock drafts and be like, and they watch a million of them.
And I think that with the case, obviously, you're talking a lot about the Magic with the pick ahead of us, because a lot of people think. I think people think too recently about things because, excuse me, the trade deadline saw them trade away a point guard. And yes, they need a point guard. But really, if you look at that roster, they need everything. They need help everywhere.
Well, the Magic, you're absolutely right. The thing is with them is, who's their point guard? They don't have one. Evan Fournier is doing a good job playing their 2. They drafted Jonathan Isaac out of Florida State last year. Aaron Gordon, are they going to retain him? Are they going to keep him?
Well,
he's got a high ceiling.
And that's $1 million question, too, because there are some people in the league saying that Michael Porter Jr. could play the 4. So
he can't.
And that's your opinion, but there are people in the league who are saying it.
They're dumb.
And I mean, Golden State plays with a small lineup like that too, and they're doing all right now.
Yeah,
Obviously
right.
not from last night, but the thing that I really look at you look at the Magic, are they going to retain Eric Gordon? If they don't, not Eric Gordon, Aaron Gordon. My mistake. If they, obviously we were just stuck on this Houston series. If they don't retain Aaron Gordon, they have a need at the 4, and if they believe that Porter Jr. could play the 4 in the NBA and go small, then that seems like the high pick for them, don't you think?
I think that the pick for them there would be Wendell Carter.
Interesting.
Because Wendell can step out and hit the midi.
Yeah.
And he could play his good footwork in the paint, and pairing him next to Nikola Vujicic, I think, would be good for them. But this is where it's crazy for the Bulls. There's so many possibilities. So hypothetically, say you have your DeAndre Ayton, your Luka Doncic, your Marvin Bagley, and your JJJ off the board, right? 5, 6, and 7 are so still star kind of studded. Where I'm saying if Dallas decides, okay, well we're gonna take Bamba,
which I think they need to. That seems
they need to at this point. Yeah, they need to at this point.
The kid's went to school in Texas. He's been underneath their
Did
thumb
you see the story on him from yesterday?
I did.
Out of 50 3-pointers attempted, guess how many he drained?
How many?
40.
Wow.
That's insane, and that's NBA range.
See, and that's all well and great, man, but this is, and Danny said it too when we had Danny on, Danny Parkins. If you didn't have that, watch that interview yet, find it. It's amazing. He is so knowledgeable.
So shout out to Danny.
Everyone looks good in a workout, and everyone
absolutely.
looks good when they're shooting in the gym with maybe 1 or 2 cameras on them.
Well, and I like Danny Parkins, and he is very knowledgeable. This is what he does for a living and everything like that. But if there's one thing that I pride myself on in all sports, obviously we know football really well. We're Bears season ticket holders. I'll give you the baseball edge on me every day of the week. But when it comes down to college basketball, I will. I mean, it's honest. Like, I know my baseball. I know enough to write about it and have intelligent conversations. You just know the ins and the outs and maybe a little bit more history than I do.
Okay.
I give you that for sure. But when it comes to I'm a stupid college basketball nut.
You love
stupid.
And for our viewers, a lot of the times when we do these Bulls and NBA college or this college talk, a lot of times I do ask your opinion because I value it a lot higher than the things that I read. But all these guys are going to go through these workouts, and we're going to talk about a guy in Michael Porter Jr. that maybe is able to influence where he goes because there is so much rumor out there that he's not dedicated, maybe not healthy. But like I said, I feel like these workouts and the combine needs to be taken with the smallest grain of salt, just like you take your NFL combine.
Okay, yeah.
And you need to see what happens on the court. And see, this is the thing for Porter Jr., other than this high school tape, we don't have nothing.
Right.
So,
well,
so this is like, he is the $1 million question on all of it.
But we found out now, though, that he's going to participate in the combine,
right,
which means he has to release some medical records.
Right, but he's going to have his interviews. He's going to have opportunities to influence. It's the same thing that Ball did last year. Ball, what did he do? He wanted to go to the Lakers. The whole camp, his dad, the whole crazy circus said, "I am not playing for
anybody but the Lakers." Right.
So what happens? He gets passed on for the number 1 pick, and the Lakers take him.
I'm still convinced right now that it's going to be an MPJ, Jonte Porter kind of draft, if Jonte's still there. But what I wanted What I wanted to say real quick, though, about this whole thing is, like, obviously, if MPJ falls to us, I want him. I wanted to address something that I listened to on the fast break. While we do like MPJ,
there are plenty of other players.
There are plenty other. If I don't get
with
Michael Porter Jr., I'm not upset. I'm not clamoring for they need to draft him or it's over, because it's not. There's a couple guys on this list now that I know that we're picking at 7 that I actually might take higher than 13th. And talking to our buddy Keith over at Bulls Scripted, we've been talking a lot about it. A guy that I'm very interested in right now is 18-year-old, 6'9", Kevin Knox.
Yeah, and I don't know if you were watching the highlights of his workout. I think it was yesterday.
Yesterday, it was.
He looks athletic.
Fast.
He looks quick.
Good stroke on the
shot. Was
shot.
able to shoot the jump shot a lot better than I thought. He's a decent shooter.
He is, and it's sneaky because they didn't really run a lot of plays for him to be jump. Well, you know how Calipari's offense works at Tucky.
He's got so many pieces he's got to make happy the whole time. It's hard for one to stand out unless you're a John Wall or you're a Derrick Rose or
Right. So I mean,
obviously Derrick Rose was at Memphis, not at Kentucky, but as I'm wearing his jersey today, I was rocking the D Rose today.
D Rose.
But yeah, to me, this draft comes down to what the Hawks do at 3, what the Grizzlies do at 4, and what the Magic do at 6. Is that not? I mean, because if one of them screws up, 1 out of 3, you're going to be left with a really big talent and you're not forced to take Bridges.
Well, this is the thing. When the draft order has now switched, but that's like the thing was when people like do I was saying before, they do all these mock drafts and stuff. You start watching all these mock drafts and you're like, you don't know what team is picking where, and then you get into your head, well, this is gonna for sure happen. No, you see what just happened with Sacramento jumping all the way up. I didn't think they were gonna jump all the way up from 7
I didn't either,
like that.
and I really wish we would have lost the coin toss.
I know. So it's like I didn't think they were gonna jump up from 7 like that. So who are they gonna take?
Did you know that was like the first coin toss that the Bulls won in like 5 tries, and then we get stupid like that,
and then we get F'd in the A.
Well, that's how it works.
Yeah, of course, but
which I don't know if you saw. I tweeted at you. Palmer House is one of my accounts for work. So we could have went.
When did you do that?
Yesterday.
Or
Tuesday.
Tuesday, I missed that.
We were about half an hour before the draft, which meant we were about the lottery, which meant it was about an hour before they actually did the ping pong balls. Because that was, I love watching the lottery, but it's just so much bullshit lead in.
Oh yeah, no,
like that was
stupid.
like 45 minutes of like her introducing each and every person that was sitting there, and she didn't even know who Michael Finley was.
Yeah, I got stuck at a meeting, so I didn't even actually make it home till like 6:30. So there would have been no way we were making it downtown for the party that we got invited to.
No shot. But I mean, still, like I said, man, if it's ever here again, it's at Palmer House. We're going.
Now, hypothetically here, man, I'm gonna throw these couple of questions at you real quick. Obviously, we both agree that the safe pick here at 7, if the top guys are gone, and by the top guys, I'm talking about Ayton, Doncic, Bagley, JJJ, Bamba, and Porter.
Right.
Now, if the top guys are gone here,
we suck.
I know, no shit. If the top guys are gone here, and we have already agreed that Mchale would be probably the safe pick because you pretty much know what you're going to get right away from him. Who is the pick that you would take at 7 with the most upside that you think you can develop? Because I've heard a lot.
Hard.
Right, I know it is. I've heard a lot of different comparisons. I've heard a lot of different choices, and my two are just because I want them in this position is Mchale Bridges and Kevin Knox.
Yeah, see, but like at 7, Kevin Knox, like
I don't know.
it also depends, like.
I mean, because who else?
Right.
If you don't take your safe pick, because I'm not taking Colin Sexton or Trae Young.
No, I don't want either. But
I don't want either of them.
It just seems so much if they don't get Porter, they're taking Mchale, right? Doesn't it? Like if they're not able to get Bamba, like other than that, like this, and this is what pisses me off because these like these bullshit wins that were
the Nico wins
in like April, like the beginning of April and like the end of March. Not April, March. That's stupid talk, Kyle. But like the stupid
February.
wins at the end of the end of the season, we're like, why are you doing that? Like, what did we suffer through all year? If we get a 3, and that's no knock on Mchale Bridges. I think he's going to be a great player. I think he's going to be plug and place. But the Bulls need the guy. Like, and Mchale Bridges is not the guy. Otherwise, you're betting on Levine being
the guy.
Or maybe Markkanen taking a huge step, another huge step.
And people got to stop expecting Lowry to, I mean, I'm not saying that he's not going to be the guy, but it's very unlikely, guys, that a guy that plays Lowry Markkanen's position is going to be the guy that wins you games. Like, it's more of a guard and like a LeBron James, Kevin Durant driven league. Like, look at all the,
right.
Who besides AD, who is a big man that leads their team to victory on a consistent basis in the NBA?
There's not.
So, DeMarcus Cousins didn't do it, and he's one of the best centers in the league. So before everybody starts saying DeMarcus Cousins, before the first time he would have made the playoffs in his career would have been this year if he didn't get hurt.
Right.
So
and that's Sacramento's a whole mess in itself. But
right.
No, this is Sacramento. They got something, man.
They're
gonna be a great team.
But I can't see them. Okay, so De'Aaron Fox, Buddy Hield. They already got Bogdanovich.
Right.
And he played really good for a rookie last year. That's why I don't see them taking Luka Doncic. I don't see them doing that because I'm telling you what.
Do you still think it's so cut and paste that the Suns are taking Ayton at number 1?
No, I don't.
I don't either.
Because
they got the coach.
They got Luka Doncic's old coach.
Right.
And plus, I was looking at a bunch of stuff online, reading about, doing some research on it, and they're not talking about rolling, Luka Doncic at being a shooting guard / small forward, how he's built. The new trend with the big point guards is going to be Luka Doncic running your point and then having D-Book at your 2, Josh Jackson at your 3, your 4, I'm drawing a blank, I don't know why, but I know your 5 would be Dragan Bender. Your 4, maybe Marquise Chris. I mean, somebody like that.
Whatever. That would be so Suns, though, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would be. But that's the thing. Is Luka gonna be what they're touting him up to be? He's young.
Well, if anybody knows, it's the guy who coached him.
Right, and
that's.
It's not a for sure thing.
But isn't it so odd they got the number 1 pick after recently signed? Dude, the NBA is so weird.
Can you ask that question again?
Isn't it so weird that they got the number 1 pick and they have the choice to take their own guy? Like,
no,
the NBA is so weird. Like,
no, it's bullshit.
It's all storyline.
Doesn't make any sense. It's got a team that's been in limbo since Steve Nash left.
And they ain't gonna get any better.
And they're not gonna. No. It's just like
they're gonna mess it. Even Charles Barkley says it. Phoenix is gonna mess it up.
Yeah, they're gonna mess it up. A fun question for you. Obviously, with the most upside, you're not sure if you want Knox or Bridges at 3 or Miles Bridges, that is, at 3.
But let me just real quick. The 7th pick, to me, in this whole draft, like looking through it, is like kissing your sister. Like from where they're at. When it comes to like where the Bulls are at, when it comes to the needs that they have, like there are a million other players that I probably have more upside.
That is the dumbest mock draft I've ever seen in my life.
This is stupid.
Okay.
But I'm just looking at it on a sense of what.
Yeah, no, I see that. I'm just letting you know that's really whoever wrote that should be fired.
Luka Doncic to the 4th, that's terrible. But
whoever wrote that should be fired.
Yeah, like Bagley going 2, that's not happening. But it's just, to me, like the 7th pick, it's like the huge fall off in the top 6. Like it's so drastic to me that. And even, like, after, like, if you look at the picks after, like, I think Trae Young in a Cavaliers uniform, if this mock draft, which we both agree is stupid because College Texans picked in this mock draft by the Magic.
Okay.
I think Trae Young could be a good player for Cleveland. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think that's a decent fit. Like, I mean, they have Mo Bamba going 9th to the Knicks. Obviously, whoever wrote this is stupid. But, like, I'm just saying, like, where these, like, these picks end up, I think the 7th pick is, like, kissing your sister. Because it's, like, all the small forwards that you want and the impact guys are going to be off the board before you get there, and you don't have a need other than small forward.
Unless we get lucky.
Well,
that's the thing.
Well, we didn't get lucky.
No, we didn't. But
in the lottery, but
maybe the gods will prepay us. But this is another possibility. Like, I'm surprised you didn't think Bagley was going to get taken 2nd. I actually think that Sacramento takes Bagley.
Interesting.
I really do. I think obviously if Luka Doncic goes first, then they're going to take DeAndre Ayton.
Right.
Okay. But I mean, if DeAndre Ayton goes first, DeAndre Ayton goes to Phoenix first. I'm assuming that Sacramento probably takes Marvin Bagley, and the reason I say or JJJ, it's either those two.
Who wrote this mock draft? Mark Shanowski.
Did he?
Jeez.
Damn, Mark, your mock
Mark
draft
hates
sucks.
the Kings, and he starts out with this Marvin Bagley pick, and he goes, "This is in the paragraph." He goes, "Never underestimate the Kings' ability to mess things up."
Oh, fantastic.
So I mean, it's interesting. Everything relies on 3 teams here that I said earlier on in the podcast. What the Hawks do they trade out? Because that was a rumor, too, that...
Yeah, they want to move down.
Which, if you're the Bulls...
That's the thing here. And I don't care what anybody says. I'm not overvaluing anybody in this draft, okay? We have a top 7 pick. There's been a lot of players picked at 7 in Chicago history that have been great. The greatest player of all time was picked at number 7 in the 2003 NBA draft. That was Kirk Hinrich, goddammit. But also Luol Deng was picked at 7, even though he was drafted by Phoenix, and we got him in a trade. And also Lauri Markkanen last year was picked at 7. You can get good talent even in this draft at 7. But this is my question. Hypothetically here, man, say Mo Bamba, and these are the 2 that I'm going to put down as, I think, the Bulls' realistic targets, all right? Say Mo Bamba and or Michael Porter Jr. are gone when you come up at 7. Do you package your 7th pick and the 22nd pick, and do you try to go and get one of them?
Try to get who?
Either Mo Bamba or Michael Porter Jr.
Oh, man.
Do you package those 2 picks? Or
Is that all it takes?
Maybe throw in a Denzel or a Bobby Portis.
Yeah, why not? If I truly see Porter Jr.'s physicals... Mm-hmm. And he's fine, and I think that he's the guy. Why not?
Right. We're a rebuilding team anyway.
And this is my thing, too. You don't have a need that's going to make your team any better at 7. And realistically, 22 is great, and we've talked about Mitchell Robinson. We've talked about all these players. But if you were given... I'll present a scenario to you. I can give you Michael Porter Jr. right now, but that's all you're getting. Or you're getting Kevin Knox and Mitchell Robinson. Like...
That fills 2 holes that we need.
Yeah, but see, this is the
Michael
thing.
Porter Jr.
Free agency is also going to happen.
Right.
Like, you're going to have needs, and the Bulls have tons of cap to fill needs.
Right. I mean, if that's the thing, though. If I believe that either Mo Bamba or Michael Porter Jr. are transitional talents and they're going to bring your team to the next level, then yeah, I'm going to trade for him. But if I even have a slight question that his back is fucked up a little bit, I'm not going to do it. And I'm not. And people can get all pissed off. I like Michael Porter Jr.
Fair.
In high school, he was
the
ranked
ones with the medicals, but
right. I mean, if this dude is what I think he can be, if he's healthy, I don't care what anybody says. He's the best player in the damn draft. But the reason I was telling you before that he can't play the 4, he's 6'9", he's right under 6'10", he's 211 pounds. He's gonna have to put on a lot of weight. Because even Dre, who plays the 4, Draymond, he might be 6'9", but he's 235, 240. You know, he's a thick muff.
Yeah,
you know? It's all up in the air.
See, and we started this podcast by saying that we have clear ideas of what's going to happen now that we know what the picking order is, but realistically, we have no clue because
who our team's going to pick.
First, we have to see his workouts. I think, and I know we've agreed here.
Also, NBA, please invite us to watch those.
If he's, I would love, man, we should just try to sneak in.
Yeah, no shit.
But if he is fine, and he's a clear-cut top 4 pick, you know what I mean? That's what he's going to be. And in that case, I think that's more likely that the Bulls end up with Bridges.
Yeah,
I think that's probably what happens.
I'm interested
because Mo Bamba's he's not going to fall. Somebody's going to take him based on what's going on with his workouts and such, but...
I'm interested to see what happens within this next month here. Within the next month. I'm very interested to see what happens when the draft does come rolling around June 21st or 23rd this year, something like that. Very interested to see what happens.
Let me read something that this is to go back to our glass half full, half empty. Danny Parkins tweeted out, he's heard some variation that it's okay the Bulls can get a good player at 7. That's where they got Laurie. Donovan Mitchell's the 13th pick. But realistically, no, those people are arguing the exception rather than the rule.
Right.
And it is, because since 2000, the number 1 player in the draft has been the best player 7 times. The second best player 3 times. And the third pick twice. Since 2000, Steph, Kawhi, Giannis, and Donovan Mitchell are the only 4 that have been the best player 7 or at 7. So
at 7 or behind 7.
Right. So, like I said, the 7th pick in this draft, and in most drafts, to me, is like kissing your sister, no matter how deep the draft is. And I don't want to say that they're not going to get it right, because they did last year. They got it right. But they need a lot to happen.
Right, absolutely. But you need things to play out. It's not all black and white. But I'm just glad I know where we're picking now, and I know kind of by researching these teams, seeing reading articles and stuff like that, maybe we can get a insight on who they're going to be picking. But we have had some weird analogies on this show the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, skinning a cat,
kissing your sister.
Great interview though.
Oh yeah, with Kelly.
Great interview.
Yeah, thank you, Kelly.
Awesome.
Yeah, appreciate your time. Yeah, man.
And a lot of what Kelly said in the interview is playing out.
I know.
It's
fantastic. It's why we wanted to bring on the best content for you guys. But moving on from that, if you guys want to, add into anything that you got for that, if you would move up for Michael Porter Jr. or Mo Bamba or something.
Comment below.
Yeah, comment below and let us know.
Or tweet at us.
That too.
Or tweet at us.
MVP Buzzweed.
At MVP Buzzweed. Juice Man.
At MVP Juice Man. Going to NBA playoff talk here real quick. Let's start off with the awesomeness. The Celtics smack around Cleveland at Boston. Can LeBron and company recover?
Well, you know the old adage.
I am not, and I'm dead ass serious. I am not saying that LeBron is not going to recover, because if I can say that he's done,
I know they're going to come back and win.
They're going to come back and win. So I don't know what's going to happen, but if Boston keeps moving the ball like they do, and if Jaylen Brown keeps having his coming out party as being the best damn player on that team, paired with a wing like Jason Tatum. I'm sorry. If I'm Boston next year, I know that we're getting way ahead because we're just going to talk about the playoffs, but if I'm Boston next year, I am seriously considering trading Gordon Hayward by the trade deadline, if he's playing well, because obviously no one's going to take him because his knee went backwards or his foot went backwards. But
Jaylen Brown
is the future at that position in Boston.
Yeah,
and Jason Tatum is the future at that 3. He's a rookie and he's playing composed.
Well, let me give you an old adage. A series is not a series until someone loses at home. And that has not happened yet.
No, it has not.
So, I mean, we saw in the other series, Golden State, Game 1 came out and looked like they controlled the game. But Houston has the ability in the other series, and that's just kind of to tease what we're going to talk about next, to go into the Oracle and win games as well. I'm not going to say that LeBron James is done, but I'm going to grab a shovel to bury it soon because LeBron James, he's been great. This series is not his fault if he loses because he's putting up 40 points, doing everything he can. But LeBron needs to dig deep down and find somebody on that team that's going to contribute because it can't just be Kevin Love and LeBron James show and expect to beat a well-coached Brad Stevens. Because Brad Stevens seems to put LeBron and company in situations where they don't feel the most comfortable. That's what he's done in this series.
He's basically made LeBron go to the rim. I mean, obviously LeBron had like the other night where he just started off on fire from three-point land. But he's basically shut down everybody around LeBron and made LeBron win. And made LeBron go, not win, but made LeBron do it himself. Which is genius.
Why
doesn't everybody
think of that? Well, I mean, let's say this too. They have the ability to switch every screen too and to not get in bad matchups. And they have the defenders to throw at him. They have 2 or 3 that they can.
Well, it does help having Jaylen Brown because Jaylen Brown can switch on to LeBron. Marcus Morris can switch on to LeBron or whatever Morris brother it is. I think it is Marcus. And then Jason Tatum can switch on to LeBron. Even Al Horford can get up there. You know, like the only one you don't want really guarding LeBron's Terry Rozier in that starting lineup. So
that series has been so one-sided in Boston's favor. But the big question to me is how does Boston's bench play on the road? And how do those young players play when they walk in Quicken Loans? Because it's not necessarily obviously bench players play differently on the road. They always do. That's just a known adage that normal contributions that you get from your Kyle Korvers and your Rodney Hoods, you don't get those on the road. It's just not normal. Your best players are going to have to show up those games. But it's interesting because the way that they've defended LeBron and they've really made him. Game 1, he was a volume scorer. He had to put up a decent amount of shots to get there, and it didn't seem like he was the most comfortable either. And he didn't have a good night. I mean, he had 20. He didn't have very many. He didn't have 40 in Game 1, if I'm not mistaken. But they turned him over. They kept throwing help at him, and essentially, Game 1 was. I mean. They dominated. It's tough.
Well, they did in the third and fourth last night too. So I mean, it was just I think Boston's gonna make a very. I'm not gonna say they're gonna win. They're gonna make a very big problem for LeBron.
It don't matter either. Whoever wins this series is getting smoked by whoever comes out of the West. That's my opinion on it.
Yeah,
they're getting smoked.
I said that in the last podcast. I think whoever's coming out of the West is gonna win, but I'm not gonna. It's kind of getting harder and harder to bet against Brad Stevens.
Yeah, is LeBron's team that bad, or has Brad Stevens been this good?
I think Brad Stevens has been this good,
and I can agree. I think that
because he did the same thing against Philly.
Yeah, but what's he going to do with? He can stop one LeBron, but can you stop 3 others? I mean, you got Steph, you got Clay, you got all these guys you got to worry about.
The cool thing about
and I'm not saying that Golden State's going to win that series, and even if you do that, there's some players on Houston that are going to make you pay if you're
right.
I mean, I
honestly think that if Houston against Boston actually happens, that's going to be a better series than we were all going to think. Because the Boston Houston series, the matchups for Houston are just horrible for Houston, horrible, like bad. Because Jaylen Brown's gonna. I mean, obviously, James Harden's going to get his. He's going to have to work hard for it,
right?
But transitioning into Houston series here. Tied 1-1. This is the thing. I picked Golden State to win, if you remember.
We both did.
The series.
In 6, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
At the Oracle.
How many more games can the Houston role players step up? They combined for 84 points last night. Or 2 nights ago, whatever the game was. I was watching. It was last night, I think. So,
last night.
Can your Trevor Arizas and your Capellas and your Eric Gordons and those guys do that every game?
Well, Eric Gordon's been terrible. He's been terrible that series.
Well, you know who else has been terrible?
Playoffs.
Steph Curry.
Yeah, well, Steph might have something going on with that knee.
Well, what I've noticed about Steph Curry is he's being attacked on defense, and they are making Steph
smart.
Yeah, CP3 is really draining Steph Curry on the defensive end.
Well, they can't hide him because you got a huge mismatch in the post if you put them anywhere.
Right. So it's just not good for them right now. But I mean, KD is just, you can't expect Klay Thompson and Steph Curry to have a bad game like they did again like last night. They're going to come back. Steve Kerr's a very good coach, and he's going to have his guys ready, I think, for Game 3 at the Oracle.
Like I said, in 6.
And they got home court advantage already.
You knew that they weren't going to walk in and take 2. Everybody was talking about a sweep after the first game. That was stupid talk.
Yeah,
I mean,
dumb.
But it'll be interesting because, like we just said, Houston's going to Golden State now, and you're talking about these role players who combined for 84 points. It's on the road. You're going into a hostile environment that is the Oracle, and those teams, the Golden State teams over the past couple of years, they win at home. They don't lose. They don't really lose in general. Really
right.
You look at it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Since KD's been there, I think they're 16 and 4 or something like that.
Yeah, they're really, really just. They're just deep. The team's deep. Houston's deep. They're deep. It's a great series, but I'm still picking Golden State to win the series.
Oh, absolutely. No, and I hope that this series is everything it's supposed to be because I truly think this is the NBA Finals. And Houston coming out and punching them in the mouth last night was good to see because there was a lot of talk they're going to get right. They're not going to go down. It's not going to be a sweep. Anybody who was saying it was going to be a sweep. Do your homework.
Yeah, exactly. Well, if you guys enjoyed the NBA playoff talk and our Bulls talk, please just leave us a comment below, tweet at us, tell us your ideas, so we can just further discuss it and everything like that. And just so everybody does know, I know we have a lot of NBA fans out there that watch us, and Bulls fans and just fans alike, of us breaking stuff down.
Ow.
If you donate on Patreon, you rip the tape off?
Yeah.
If you donate on Patreon, there's a tier where you can come on and talk with us.
Yeah, I'd love to have somebody on.
We do have the phone line for fans hooked up now. See this little floppy thing right here? So, if you want to donate on Patreon to come on and talk with us, just, go ahead and do that and let us know.